Hi guys! So, after a lot of waiting, I'm finally launching my podcast channel, and welcome to the first episode of Twinkles Podcast, where we have candid conversations with passionate individuals globally. So, I'm honored to invite Mr. Jagannatha on this episode. I wanted to start the first episode with God's name, and who else is better than Jagannatha, who's been doing spiritual awakening for the people in the West, and let's just hear more about him from him. Welcome, Jagannatha.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here, by the way. It's nice studio.
I am honored to have you. I've been waiting for 2 months to have you. You're such a busy man.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. So, I would like you to introduce yourself to my audience first.
So yeah, I'm Jagannatha. I'm from the UK. I have my hearts in India as well. I travel when we're there in Vrindavan, Mayapur. And actually a Gujarati. Kemcho to everybody that is Gujarati.
Majama.
Majama chene.
Yeah.
You know. And of course, namaste to all the Hindi followers on this podcast. So that's where I'm born here, and there's something that really took me to go back to my roots, and that's where it started.
Okay. So I see that you've been doing a lot of Kirtan Yoga.
Yes.
And I've attended one of them.
Oh, thank you.
And
yes.
Believe me, I felt like I was in Vrindavan. I'm originally from Mathura. And your Kirtan, it was a 1-hour session and it made me feel like I'm in Vrindavan. So to connect with God, you really don't need a specific place or a destination. You can connect with God anywhere, anytime.
100%. Right now, those that can see, I have a Tulsi Mala on. It's actually from Vrindavan.
Wow.
It was given to me, for those that know Vrindavan very well, from the Radha Raman temple nearby there. Yeah. A lovely devotee gifted it to me.
Wow.
And I use it. So you can create your sacred space wherever you
Exactly.
are. You don't need to be just in that sacred space. It's your mindset that's very important. And that's what we do with Kirtan Yoga. You know, Kirtan means to connect. Well, yoga means to connect. Kirtan is to glorify. Yeah. So we're glorifying the divine. And when you start doing that, the divine is present.
Exactly. So people tell me, people don't believe it that I'm spiritual just because they think that I'm modern. But I think being modern is not necessarily mean that you can't be spiritual or you can't connect with God in that way. I think we need to make a change and change this image of being modern and spiritual. I think we can connect it both together, right?
100%. Look, we are all spiritual souls.
Yeah.
We may have different bodies. We may have different outlooks. But what's very important is that every single person on this planet is a spiritual spark of the divine. So when we start to see people like that, then maybe we'll have less wars, less judgment, less issues,
and more humanity.
and actually one of the mantras that we chant, it actually is, "Oh divine, please engage me in loving service to humanity, and if you wish unto you." So, Kirtan is powerful.
So I want to know how it all started for you, because you were born and brought up in the UK, and I'm sure that the people, your friends, they must be in different fields, and you're on a different path. So how does it feel like to be different, and especially to help people connect with God?
Well, when I was growing up, I was the only Asian in my class.
Okay.
So I've been brought up in a white area. I even live there, that type of place now. And so from a young age, I was exposed to religion. My dad's side are followers of Sai Baba.
Okay.
And my mum's side are followers of Swaminarayan. And suddenly me and my sister are Hare Krishnas. Okay. So it's like a blend. So from a young age, my dad used to take us to India. I've seen all of India. Okay. I've been to Bangalore, I've been to South India, North India. He made it a point. So I visited many temples. In those days, I used to say, "Oh, another temple, another temple." But now I go, and I'm just going to temples, because it's amazing. So I started by visiting different places in India. I also was very close to Balaji, Lord Balaji. I used to be a youth camp leader in my younger days. And then from there, I heard some people when I was in Paris.
Okay.
At the age of 14, these shaven head guys just outside the Eiffel Tower. It just sounds so, picturesque. I've actually got a picture of it, so maybe I'll share that one time. Chanting Hare Krishna. These white-bodied people chanting Hare Krishna. And I was like, these guys are mental. What's going on? And that inquisitiveness has led to me now doing that. I haven't shaven my head off, but I do it. So that's been my journey from 14. But I didn't join then. I did like everybody else, went to university. Mm-hmm. So I did computer science. And after university, I started a job. And then you realize, after working a 9-to-5 job and doing the same things,
it's not fulfilling.
It's you realize, Saturday, you look forward to a Saturday because it's a chill out day. And then Sunday, some people say is a hangover day. And then you go back to Monday to Friday, and like that. Same
routine. It's a cycle. Yeah. And then you get lost. You can't find a purpose. That's what I suggest to my friends as well. Even if, I think living a life, earning money is a different thing. You have to do it anyway. But that's not the whole purpose of this life.
No.
So what do you think? What is the purpose of life? Humanity.
Well, you just said it. You're giving it away. No, see, in the Vedic tradition, it's about transcending.
Exactly.
Some people call it moksha.
Yeah.
And this is what it is. We're trapped in this cycle. Just in this lifetime, we're doing this 9-to-5.
We call
Saturday,
it
Sunday.
Maya.
Carry on. You think, tomorrow's gonna. But that was the reality hit for me. What happened was I was chilling, watching The Simpsons. I don't know if your followers watch The Simpsons.
But it's quite popular.
Most of them. Yeah, Bart is a very cool character.
Yeah.
And what happened was I was just chilling. And there's a book, like just behind you, just a bookshelf full of books. And one Hare Krishna devotee gave a book with a bookmark on it. And I was chilling.
I have goosebumps.
And what happened was, as I was just watching The Simpsons, my parents went to India. Mm-hmm. So it's just me and my sister. And what happened was, suddenly, in the other room, which is our God's room, a book fell. And it fell. And as it fell, I heard a thud. And then I was like, what was that?
Okay.
Went in the room, saw it was that book. It was the Bhagavad Gita. And then it had this bookmark, and it said, Sunday, love feast. Right? I was like, okay, we're a bit hungry. Didn't want to have my sister's food again. And actually, I cook as well, but I just couldn't be asked. And I was like, do you want to go here? It's in Birmingham. So we just did. And there was a temple in there, 84 Stanmore Road, which is not there anymore. But when it was there, and as soon as I entered, I heard this kirtan. And it was just, everything came back. That 14-year-old boy hearing the kirtans, this 9-to-5, what I'm doing is like, this is where I need to be.
God gave you a purpose.
That's it. So when that kirtan hit me, I want that feeling for others. Exactly. And it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to say to people, join what I'm doing. But realize there's something more to life.
Exactly. Even if I'm also, not doing what you are doing, because only a few people can walk on your path. But for us, we all can connect to God. We all can understand our bodies, understand the true essence of life, and not just think of girls, youth. Youth is only thinking about money, girls, and it's just a waste of time and life, because this life is precious. And once you connect with God in that way, you feel so much fulfilled that because life can never be same and consistent. There are good times and there are bad times. And people ask me all the time, because I've faced grief. I've lost both my parents at a very young age. Oh, wow. And I still believe in God a lot. So my friends ask me that if something wrong happens to them, the first thing they do is stop believing in God. And they ask me, how do I believe in God so much? Because this is life, everything has a reason behind it, and we can't understand it. We are not that capable to understand the secrets of the universe. But one thing that we can do is to believe in that higher power and keep living our life, not hurt others, and just focus on ourselves and try to help everyone as much as we can. What do you think about it?
You know what? I have to first of all congratulate you, because I didn't know that you lost both your parents, but you know you're still going into life. You know, you're in the UK. You're doing. You know, you did your degree. You're doing your path. You know, and so hats off to you.
Thank you so much.
I would say to this, and it brings me back to a point from Steve Jobs. Of course, I'm an Apple fan. Everything's Apple for me. And he said, you know, in life we have to connect the dots. So when something happens to us that's bad at the time, we just don't realize what's happening, why it's happening. Only when you look into the future and then you look back,
then
you
you
can
know.
connect the dots.
Then you know that it happened for a good reason.
And that's where the divine intervention, this is another thing. The divine is so subtle, you will miss it. You will miss it. And only if you can tune in and listen to your inner heart, you know, we call it Paramatma. Because that's speaking to you. It's taking you in a way. You know when something's right, when something's wrong. And slowly, it will navigate you. But when you can't listen to it, you'll go different angles. But then you'll realize after time, I am where I need to be. And I always feel the divine will look after us, whatever happens. My life, I've seen, you know, things happen, and I've seen how the divine has really helped me. So I must help. It's the idea, you know.
God helps you and God helped you and made you a person who can help others. So what can be better than that?
Well, you know, they say when you're in the aeroplane, the air hostess or steward will say, you know, put the mask on yourself first.
And then help others.
Help your child after. So like that, you have to do that. So that's why for me, even going to Bharat, you know, let's call it by its name. Bharat. You know, going to Bharat, spending time recharging my battery means when I come back, I can then give.
And even Steve Jobs visited Neem Karoli temple. He tells about it all the time.
Yeah, I've got many friends who are connected to them. Hanuman Project is one. He's really good. Everyone knows Krishna Das as well. All of these people came from that end.
So whenever I visit any shrine, I feel this energy, it's very strong energy, and it gives you so much power, strength to face the world again, and so much positivity. It's amazing. I visited Skanda Valley a few days ago.
That's my dad's guru.
Ooh,
Yeah. Guruji. He you know, that's brilliant. I wouldn't even known that. So Skandavale in Lampincent, you know, in the middle of this forest, you know, and you think you're going to fall any second. And then there's a Ma Durga temple at the top.
Oh my God.
Did you see Vali, who's the elephant there? No, he probably was chilling. So that is where, when I was young, this is when I was talking to you about different aspects of spirituality. I used to also go there. I used to go and serve there.
Wow.
So the monks there, they talk about everyone being one.
It's the oneness.
That's it. I think some way that has also influenced me as well.
I went to their history. I read it all, and it's the same thing that happened with you. God automatically attracts you towards them. Even if you're walking towards a different path in life, if God has chosen you, He knows how to get you on the right path.
No, you know, it's lovely you went to this. It shows, you know, you're a spiritual seeker yourself. And, you know, we people outside will see us as one person, but they don't know our hearts. You know, everybody will have their own opinions, but long as we are strong within ourselves, that what we are doing in our, you know, path to Godhead.
I think it's all, even the nature, we are one. we are eating plants and we are living. And
Well,
our body,
some are eating plants.
some are. I mean, it's a good thing though. It's good because we believe that we don't want to hurt another living beings, and we want to eat just to sustain our bodies and be as, kind to others and other living beings as much we can. I think there's no problem in it.
One thing, like when it comes to belief systems, like you're talking about, there's no harm in this. If I was to tell you that I used to be an atheist at one point, because I was thinking these paths, I was always inquisitive. I would always ask questions, like, you're talking about plants, etc. Why do we just have this? I used to say, why do good things happen to bad people?
They do, believe me.
And you think to yourself, why? And nobody could answer these questions for me. Only when I met my guru, he was able to enlighten me in these, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. He's been living in India for 50 years. He's from America.
Okay.
Right? So those that we're building the largest temple, I think, in the world, in Mayapur Dham. So he was, that's my plug. Check it out. So I came from that point. So I would always question everything. Like, I ask everybody, why, like you talk about, why we just eat vegetables or whatever. But if I ask someone, why do you do arti? People, so I want your audiences, when they're in the podcast, to put why they do arti. They should pause it at this point, put it down into the thing, right? Yeah. Interaction's important. Yeah. And the realization came that, what is it? It's about love, okay? So in Vrindavan, I was in Radhakund. If anybody's been to Radhakund.
I've been there.
Yeah. And I see a Babaji taking the water like this and putting it back. And you think, you're just giving back the water? No. What he's doing, he's bringing it, then he's offering back with love. Same with Arti. Yeah. We're made up of these elements, 5 elements: earth, fire, air, ether, and water. And if you look when they do Arti, they'll use all 5 of them. So the flame is just one. So like that, it's about love. So we got to be inquisitive to increase our faith. And when we increase our faith, then love will build. So that's
I think there's no particular way, or, there's no ritual in that sense that if you believe in God, you have to follow this, and that. God is actually within your own self. So if you want to connect with God, you can do it just sitting anywhere. But I think it's good if someone wants to dedicate some time in every day and meditate. What can be better than that? Because then you are actually taking out the time to connect with the divine.
Well, look, how many hours in a day do we have? 24.
Yeah.
Right? One amazing saint that I look up to, had a chance to spend time with him when I was going to France. And he said, we have how many? 24 hours. You don't, and the divine has given us all this time. You being here, sanctioning. You can't even give 2 hours to the Lord.
Exactly.
In your whole day, you fit the Lord into your schedule. So that really made me wake up. Yeah. And so that's what helps me, that in the morning, that's when my meditation is there.
Yeah, I wanted to know, what does your daily life routine looks like?
Well, now with kids, it's much more hectic. So in the material world, I'm a senior project manager working on the largest infrastructure project in Europe.
Okay.
So yeah, you're talking about £200 million a month being spent. So it's a big project. So that's my material side.
Okay.
But it always starts with my spiritual. So, I wake up around 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I would do my meditation. So that's japa meditation. So on japa, meaning on beads. Yeah. So that's usually about, I don't usually talk about this, but I don't.
You should.
But about an hour and a half, it would be where you do your japa. And then from there, then I would get ready, shower, etc. By that time, my youngest child will be getting up. So I have to get it done then. Get ready. And then when I'm working from home, then it's nice. Then I spend time with the family. Then I start my work. But then I travel. So go to work, come back. And then usually in the evenings now, it's turned into, especially if it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll have kirtans in different parts. So that's the main thing. So my day will start with meditation. And I would recommend to all your followers, do that. Now, whatever mantra you want to chant, you chant it. Just know the meaning of the mantra. And it's important that you do it and just give your time to it. And I'm talking about 5 minutes. You don't need to go into an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. Start off 5 minutes and say, put my phone away, put this away. I'm not going to chant and watch something. I'm just, no music, just you and the mantra. Do that 5 minutes a day. And in a month's time, tell me how you felt.
I think it also detaches you from the world, the fast-paced world. Because even those 5 minutes will make you feel like, you are in some another world, another dimension, and it really helps. Like in normal life as well, detachment, practicing detachment is the key, because people are temporary. Everything is temporary. Even your own parents are temporary, because nobody stays for a lifetime with you. So one thing, this detachment, practicing detachment really helps in
100%.
Going forward, moving forward in life.
Look, we came into this world with nothing.
Yeah, and we...
they say, they talk about, heart men, you don't have nothing. When you go, you have nothing.
Exactly.
And that's the same thing. You're going to take this journey when it comes to that point by yourself.
Yeah.
Your family, your friends, your money, your possessions, nothing will help. I'll give a quote against for Steve. When he was on his dying deathbed, he goes, and it's vividly there where he talks about that he's realized that getting from A to B doesn't matter if you have a $3,000 car or a $300,000 car. The journey is still there.
Exactly.
So similarly like that, I think we have to get to that stage that we have to realize that it's going to be just us. And that's why I'm telling your followers, I'm telling myself as well, it's good to remind myself too, that keep just chanting, at least do something spiritual.
I always wake up by thinking of God, and before, the last thing I do is think of God, and the first thing in the day I do is that. And also it doesn't matter what I do, but God is always there in the back of my mind. For some reason, I think God is always with me, and He's always supporting me in everything. And surrendering is the best thing. If you leave everything, every problem to God, you'll be less stressed, first thing, so that you'll be able to focus on the things that are needed to be done. And second, God will take care of it Himself.
Yeah, and we're not saying here, okay, I'm doing exams. I'm just going to lie down, God will sort it. No, we got to do our bit, and you do your bit. But the point is, if we start with that type of mindset, and the reason this mindset's very good is because we realize that we're not the controller.
Yeah, we are not, really.
And as soon as we realize that, then it's okay, everything will work fine. Then we're like, okay, if trains are running late, what to do? It's okay. Like this, like that, we can't control anything.
It gives you that sort of calmness.
Yeah, and you have to, I think in life we have to be that. It's not rigid. Yeah. What's when you look at the heartbeat, it's up, down, up, down, up, down. Life's going to be like that.
Exactly.
And if somebody thinks it's just going to be at the top, and then you're living in cuckoo land. Actually, just like, when you go to Alton Towers, or I don't know, in India, is there a nice theme park that everybody goes to in Delhi? Or?
No, not really.
Oh, because it's quite dangerous probably. But you queue up for 3 hours for a 30-second rush. That's life. Yeah. We like holidays. Oh, I can't wait to go away, 2 weeks away. But I'm going to work 48 weeks to make that 2 weeks. Just live a life where you are feeling content all the time.
Exactly.
And that's where meditation helps us. It makes us do the helicopter view. So we don't see things here. We can look from a good perspective.
And that is important, because people are stuck in their day-to-day lives. They can't look at it from a different perspective. No. And if they do, they'll feel a lot better about the situation that they are in.
100%, 100%. So that's where I would really say to everyone. And look, I'm coming from a place where it's not the case where I've always been on this path. I've also made mistakes. It's not the case that I'm not, everything's right from when he met I'm a human being.
Exactly, we all are.
But I've started, the difference is that when you make something, don't do it again. Learn from it. That's how we evolve.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll keep on probably making some mistakes. I'm sure I will. But as long as I'm conscious of it and I try to not do again, that's what we need to do.
I'm just taking So I see that your social media platform, especially Instagram, is really active and you've made it quite professional. I mean, I work with a lot of people, and even if they are brand owners or business owners, they quite lack in maintaining that, good profile on social media. But with you, I see that it's quite strong and everything is just perfect.
Yeah.
So how does it help you with your work, with spreading awareness in the society? Because social media is so powerful. If you use it in the benefit of yours, it will help you a lot with growing. And even if you are an individual or a brand or a business owner, you have to build a presence on social media, because that if you're not on social media, you don't exist for the world. And it helps you in a lot of ways, because the world has changed. Now everyone gains information through social media. It's not that in-depth information, but still, if you can share bits and connect your audience, engage your audience consistently, they will know who you are and what you do, and it helps you in the long run.
Well, thank you. I'm quite new to it all. But, I see it's just like a knife, isn't it? A knife, you can use it to, use it for good.
Yeah,
cut
exactly.
things and food. Or it's like you can do harm. And social media is like that. It can be for good or it can be for harm. It was actually my spiritual guru and a very nice mentor of mine. His name's Keshav Swami. He's also doing nice talks. And it's important that people don't connect to organizations. They connect to people. Exactly. They want to see people. They want to understand people. Yeah. So actually that was my reason for the way I branded myself. Jagannatha means the Lord of the universe. Yeah. My full spiritual name is Jagannatha Kirtan Das. So that was from my spiritual teacher. But not everybody's going to be able to, hey, Jagannatha Kirtanananda, Jagannatha Kirtanananda, especially in the Western world. They're going to be like, hey, they can just about say J, So I had to keep Jagannatha in there. So that's one thing. And the other part for me was, and I had friends who are quite good at this. They say, what are you about? And I said, oh, that's a hard question. But then when you look at it, for me, what is it? Kirtan. Yeah. Kirtan. So that's why my thing's like this. So it's a journey. This is something I find very daunting sometimes, especially as a full-time worker, then trying to do social media. So if there's anybody out there that likes to help and knows all this, I'm always willing for helpers. But yeah, I'm apart from one person that helps me video and that, the rest editing is me as well. Okay. So I'm just learning.
No, I am starting my own social media management firm. Wow. And that is my plugin. Go check that page out. And if you want to build your social media presence, you know whom to contact.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I'm sitting right next to you.
Look at this. It's all divine timing. Intervention here.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can.
No. Whilst you bring that up, there's one thing that's important is we have to also be conscious that social media doesn't control us. Yeah. It's sometimes difficult, and this is another reason why it's important for meditation, because the mind is like horses galloping. Yeah. And mantra means to free the mind. So that's another reason why it's important that we meditate. then we'll realize that these things around us, like if I could, I don't really, all I want to do is sit down and do kirtan. If somebody else videos and makes whatever, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I have to put that effort in.
No, that's the right thing. I also would want to mention that, first of all, if God has given you hands, legs, voice, everything is given to us by God. So we can dance, we can go to parties and we can dance in clubs. Why can't we go to a temple and dance for the God? Yes. Why not?
I actually, at university, I won Mr. University. I can do a bit of break dancing, and I do Michael Jackson, so body popping, all of that. There's things of me I did, and then I remember I don't lose that. I can still do it in the temple, or when I'm in the streets, and you want to attract a crowd to the Harinam, I can do it there. So we can dovetail all our activities in spirituality. It's not about I can't do this anymore. No, it's dovetailing it. Bringing it that way. And I tell you now, me winning a battle of the bands when I was at university is nothing compared to going and doing a kirtan at a cathedral.
I saw that video. Yeah. It looked so pretty, aesthetic, and the months, the chanting, everything was so powerful, and I could see the crowd. They were so much connected at that time. It was amazing, and it got really good views as well, right?
I have to say thank you. I think a lot came from India, so shukriya to everybody. Thank you so much for all your help, and it's one of those, and it's only the divine. In there I said Radhe. So Radhe Govinda. I did Hare Krishna as well. Yeah. Radhe, also for me, she's like my mother. So, when you were saying about mother's not here, Radhe, she's our eternal mother. She's the mother of the universe and beyond. Yeah. So when we call her, what is social media? Nothing.
Yeah. And if Radha is with you, if you take Radha Naam, then Krishna is automatically present there.
Because, he's attracted by Radha.
Yeah.
That's why this is a spiritual life hack. Chant Radha.
Radha.
So in Vrindavan, Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, it's a way of saying hi.
Hi.
Greeting.
Yeah. Radhe Radhe, but it's more than that, which is great. But this is the consciousness they have. It's beautiful.
No, the people in Vrindavan, and do you see the change? All the people from West are going to India and totally surrendering themselves to Vrindavan and God, Krishna. And it's getting popular as well, all over. Not even in real life, but on social media as well.
I've traveled the world with my spiritual master, my spiritual guru. I've been to Russia, I've been South America, North America, Singapore, Australia. And what I saw is everybody is taking this on. But one thing I'm noticing as well, that especially in Bharat, people are going more towards the Western culture.
Exactly.
So they're missing the jewels of what Bharat has to offer.
Exactly.
It's something that cannot be replicated by anything in the West. And that's coming from me, who's lived in the West.
We should actually see the value of our culture and roots and history, and try to preserve it as much as we can.
Srila Prabhupada tried to, what did he do? He crossed the ocean to go to America. That's my guru's guru.
Okay.
So our ultimate guru for me. And brought back the Western people to India to show what they do. And everyone was attracted by it.
Exactly. So, everyone in the world is attracted by Krishna.
All attractive. That's what it means.
I would love to attend that ISKCON. If there's any event that you chant mantras on the road, I would love to be there.
Harinam. We've got Harinam party in Birmingham.
Okay.
And then also the Kirtan Yoga is also seen as Harinam, but it's indoors. Yeah. It's that more intimate session. And yesterday we had a session and we just talked a little bit of talking about Krishna. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just Kirtan.
Yeah.
Because all this is, when we glorify the divine, I'm telling you, it's the most soothing thing. I had a really hard day, a lot of stuff at work going on. And all I did was just start talking about Krishna, and suddenly this energy came.
Last night, I was feeling so anxious, and this is a real story. I was so anxious. I was on the verge of crying.
Oh, no.
And I don't know how it happened, but the moment I closed my eyes, I saw my Guruji. Okay, I believe in Guruji a lot.
Yes.
And I saw him. It's the second time that something like this is happening with me. I just felt like he's inside me, like a small swaroop of him. When I closed my eyes, I felt it somewhere here, that he's here. And suddenly all the anxiety vanished and I felt so calm. And I don't know how this happened, but this thing happened. And the same thing happened with me 5 years ago. So my mother was hospitalized and like she had kidney issues since 10 years. Like I was very young, so it was all going on. Then she had an operation. We got the kidney transplant done. And after that, like 5 years later, she started having health issues again. And then like we were consistently going to hospitals every day. And there was this day where she actually said her final goodbye to me, sitting on the bed, and there was a white wall behind her. And she was saying goodbye. And I was so, at that moment, I saw Guruji's reflection on the wall, and I was not connected to him at that time. I didn't know who he was at that time. And that was my first instinct, that I instantly prayed to him. I don't know why, but that was my first instinct. And the next second, my mom said, "Twinkle, did you do something? I just feel this. There's some energy that's coming in. There's some divine energy that's coming into my body. Did you do something?" She asked me that. So some things are, you can't explain some things. You just experience them.
100%. And this is why we say to everyone, come to a Kirtan session.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are in your life, what you're doing, doesn't matter. When we're in there, we're all one. It doesn't matter if you've been chanting for years or you're just starting. It's such an inclusive thing. And together we have that Sangha that will give the power of Sangha. And when we come together like that, there's nothing like it. It's a glue that helps us to elevate together.
Yeah. It gives you the power to rise above everything. And moksha, I want to attain moksha. I don't want heaven. I don't want hell. I want moksha, because that ends the cycle of life. 100%. Because even if you do some good karmas and if you get to the heaven, you'll still stay in the heaven for the time of your good karmas. Like जितने आपने अच्छे कर्मा किए हैं उतने ही टाइम तक आप heaven में भी रहोगे, या जितने बुरे कर्म किए उतने ही टाइम तक hell में रहोगे. But ultimately you will come back on this earth. And moksha is the form जब आप divine के ही साथ हमेशा के लिए connect हो जाते हैं. And you just always Sat Chit Anand.
Yeah, Sat Chit Ananda. Vigraha. You're talking about our soul. Paramatma hai na. That's the main thing here that we're talking about when it goes back. Because we are always continually happy and full of knowledge and bliss. That's what Satchitananda Vigraha means. And that's our idea. We want to transcend back to Goloka Vrindavan, as it's talked in Srimad Bhagavatam. They talk about it in there. So to do that, yes, I don't want to go to heaven or hell, because years will go back. This is Kali Yuga.
This is Kali Yuga, and I think this is the golden time of Kali Yuga. Like
this is a time that we even just chanting a little bit will have so much benefit. Actually, it's better than Satyug in that way. Just by chanting this mantra and doing, because you go to heaven, 1 year could turn into 1,000 years. You come back on this world, it'll be even worse. So you don't want to do that. You just want to go straight.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Just try your best to, and start with living a good life.
And stop hurting others.
That's it. Doesn't matter. Just stop. Just be a good human being.
Exactly.
Srila Prabhupada, he used to say, be a good gentleman or gentlewoman. That's the first thing. If we do that and we treat everyone with respect, then
and not get envious of others, and stop comparing our lives to others, I think the world would be a better place, and we all could focus on ourselves and just be happy.
That's it. My friend Jay Shetty, he says, don't compare your someone else's timeline to yours.
Yeah.
Everything will happen as it's meant to happen.
Exactly.
Don't worry. what's gonna come to you will come to you.
Yeah, what's written in your destiny, it will
It's
come
only
to
time.
you.
Only time. We have to just really, for now, focus on yourself. Wear that oxygen mask. Chant the mantras. And, that's
Let
the
the
best thing.
pilot fly.
Just go with it. There's no secret. This is the thing. This thing doesn't have no secret.
Yeah.
You're not some type of, I'm going to get this type of realization. Just chant. And you will see yourself after just a month.
Yeah.
6 months.
It makes a lot of difference.
My friends at university, some of them nearly fainted when they saw who I am now. Just to let you know. And it's the mantra. Like I said, we're not perfect.
And I already decided that my first podcast is going to be with you because I'm spiritual and I wanted to start it with God's name. And for some reason you were busy. I did my first shoot here in this studio with someone else. And the recording wasn't on. So it's officially my first podcast again. So God also wanted to, be there in the first podcast. Yeah, it's
I'm
funny.
finding that out now, everybody.
Yeah. On the last note, let's do a rapid fire round with you.
Okay. I'm up for that. Go for it.
Okay. So, what's your favorite spiritual practice?
Has to be Kirtan. Has to be.
Okay. Why did I even ask that question? Okay. A mantra you recite daily.
Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's what I do in the morning.
Wow. I feel so good and content. Okay. One word to describe your spiritual journey.
Evolution. Yes. Yeah. It's been an evolution for me.
Okay. And finally, what is your message to our listeners?
My message is don't be so hard on yourself, especially in this material world we live. And just chant. Just chant. It's not hard. It's not like you have to go to the gym. You just have to sit in one place and give 5 minutes to the divine. 5 minutes. I challenge you. The 5-minute challenge.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights and journey with my audience today. It was a pleasure for me, believe me. Let's do this again, guys.
Let's do it.
Let us know in the comments if you want to know more about Jagannatha and his journey, and you can drop in some topics that you would like us to cover.
Put that in. I'm an open book. Thank you so much. And if you like what I do, come join the other side.
Make sure you follow Jagannatha on his social media handles because he's been doing amazing work and I'm sure you will love it.
Thank you so much, Twinkle. Keep doing what you're doing. I always like it when we talk about the divine and you starting like that. And it was divine's thing but your intention was to start with God's name and you've done it. Yeah. So, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I hope it goes well. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in my next vlog.
Hey,
next,
take care.
Sorry.
Blog?
No.
Podcast.
Podcast, yeah.
Podcast, oh God.
I'll see you in the next episode of this podcast. Bye.